I have a survey that I use that tells me what I ask them what sports they're in, what activities they do outside of school, how familiar they are with online learning. That kind of kicks things off. That gives me a little background information. I also ask the reason why they're in the course. Is it because of scheduling conflict or there wasn't anything else? Did they have a choice in selecting the course? And then from there, it builds, the relationship builds by talking to them about the course, introducing it, the orientation, and then our weekly grade conferences. Sometimes we may already have the grades sorted out, and we'll just take a few seconds to say, okay, here's where you are. And then I use that time to talk about, well, with my seniors, we're talking about college applications, where would they like to go, what are their plans. And that weekly meeting, whether it's Monday through Friday, when there's not a set time, that weekly meeting allows us to build a relationship. And then when they come in the morning, I have a finger on the pulse that I can kind of see, oh, this isn't looking good. I may even call a parent later on in the afternoon to say, hey, what's up? Or communication with the parent and the counselor. And sometimes I've even had kids email me during class to say, I'm sorry, I'm just not doing well. Here's what happens, and then it kind of just spills out from there.
I would say probably the weekly conferences are one of the biggest. I try to go around to everybody in that first few days and just make sure that some kids, we just have to get them on our network, give them their login for the computer, and help them just get onto the computer itself. Then we help them get to the class, and I feel like I pretty much, unless I've had a student and already know them, I pretty much sit with each kid and do that. I had someone today who joined my class. She's from another school, and sat down, and while you're kind of waiting for things to boot up and things like that, you kind of ask questions. I'm just sort of that way anyway. So I found out where she was from, why she'd moved here, and then she shared a few things with me, and you get to know who they hang out with, and if you don't know them, you know who their friends are. So you kind of start to develop just ways of kind of figuring the kids out a little bit, just by, what they're chatting about when they come in the door. And I do enjoy kind of visiting with my kids. So the first couple of minutes as we're settling in, I'm talking about what's maybe, I don't know, what sporting event they were in, or I just went to something where some of my kids were singing in a choir, and I talked to them about how great that was. And you just sort of start making friends with your kids, really, is what it is. And I feel like then each week that you sit down, a couple of times really, I probably sit down with my kids. You just, you might start out not just where are you in your class. You might just naturally just say, so how are you doing now? How's it going? And I think if they realize that you are more interested in them as a person and then their class, it makes it just easier to work with them. They want to work with you. And I think that's how I do it. I just naturally sort of chatty with them.
Just sitting down with them, I do sit down and ask them how they're doing, just get to know them a little bit. I read their work, I read their submissions. It helps me understand what kind of person they are, what kind of things they're interested in. It's our job to kind of relate to them on every level that we can.